all over again. What's up, Stevie? What's up, Stevie? I'm gonna play. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Grizzly True Crime. She's on YouTube. She's gonna talk about it and tell us what's going on. Apparently, about it and tell us what's going on. Apparently, one of the jurors knew the prosecution, and I don't know, they didn't keep him out of the, I don't know. She'll explain it. And can you believe it, though? I'm gonna play it.
If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share.
Letitia Stout is getting a new trial. Letitia Stout. Oh yeah. I'll probably cover the whole damn trial.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Gizella K. This is Grizzly True Crime. And today we have some major breaking news. In a case that we followed so closely, we covered
Stevie, Gannon Stauch, Letitia Stauch. Remember that case? The crazy lady?
it was my first trial I ever covered, Letitia Stauch's trial. And Letitia Stauch's conviction has been overturned. And she's been granted a new trial.
I can't believe it.
It doesn't mean that she's just going to be set free right now. She stays behind bars from everything I've researched. Sure, I could just breathe a sigh of relief for that. Okay, while they decide what the next steps are to get her to a new trial. But can you believe it?
Nope, I
didn't see this day
cannot.
coming. I really didn't. Oh my goodness.
Never saw this
Sammy
coming.
Jones, thank you for being a member for 34 months. You said you're the best, Gizla. Thank you so much. Now, we could do a little recap. I just first want to show you some of the court documents, and then I'll show you some of the articles as well, which are based on the court documents, and we will discuss this, okay? Because I'm shocked and devastated for Gannon's family as well. Because a new trial will mean that, yeah, everybody's going to have to testify again.
I wonder if Natasha
Even
Cooper
Letitia's
heard
daughter will have
this
to
yet.
testify again. But imagine Al Stowe. Imagine
Oh
Gannon's
my
mom
God.
going through all of that again. Well, just so you know, in case you're wondering, are we going to watch it again? Hell yeah, we will. Obviously we will, right? Oh my goodness. So, alright. So, let me wondering, are we going to watch it again? We will, right? Oh my goodness. So, alright. So, let me first just show you this, just so that you can see it with your own eyes. Hold on one second. I just want to see. That's not what I'm looking for. Where is it? There. Okay, so this is. It just happened a few minutes ago. And it says April 2nd of 2026, right? Also to Lisa, thank you so much for your email. You were the first to tell me about this, and then the emails went wild. So thank you all for letting me know as well. Carrie Cole said, hello G and Grizzlies, I can't believe this. I know, right? So this is Gannon Stauch, if you didn't know, and we'll do a little recap on the case in a moment. I just first want to show you this, because maybe not everybody here knows about
Tap
the case,
the
right?
screen if you're here,
So,
please. Thank you.
It says announcements, Colorado Court of Appeals, April 2nd of 2026. Announcements. Again, they say Colorado Court of Appeals, April 2nd, 2026. Slip opinions are the opinions as filed by the judges with the clerk. Slip opinions are subject to modification, rehearing, withdrawal, or clerical corrections. A link to any modifications to previously posted opinions will appear in the petition for rehearing section of the announcement document the day the changes are announced. Published opinions. in 2026 COA 22, Court of Appeals number 23CA1067, El Paso County District Court number, there it is, Honorable Gregory R. Vanner, the judge. Oh man, he was such an amazing judge. Okay, but the defense found something. They appealed her case, her conviction, and they won. It's not often that we see this happen, right? Okay, so it says the people of the state of Colorado, plaintiff, appellee versus Letitia Stauch, defendant, appellant, judgment reversed.
Oh
so now
my
she's no
God.
longer a convicted killer, and she's
Oh,
going to get
boy.
a new chance at a trial. She's going to get LWOPed again. Okay, sorry. Okay, judgment reversed and case remanded with directions. So let's quickly just get to with remanded. So her 2023 murder conviction is completely thrown out. The Colorado Court of Appeals ruled that the trial court made a structural error, we're going to get to those documents, by allowing a biased juror to sit on the jury. Because of that, the entire verdict is legally invalid. The case is now remanded, sent back to the original trial court in El Paso County with specific directions to give her a brand new trial from scratch. So what happens next for her? She's no longer a convicted murderer under the 2023 verdict. She'll get a full retrial on all the original charges, which was first-degree murder of Gannon Stauch and tampering with the body. She will almost certainly remain in custody. So whether that's jail or prison, that I still want to figure that out. But okay, while she waits for her new trial, like, will she be transferred from the prison now to a jail? I think so. That's very, very likely. Anyway, and so she's not being released though because of the, the gravity of these charges and the conviction. So even though she won her appeal, they're apparently keeping her behind bars. Now, what her defense attorneys can do is fight to have a lower bond than no bond.
They will
You know what
not
I mean?
let her out.
They could fight to have a bond.
Yeah,
So
well,
we'll
they
have to
won't
see what
get
happens
it.
there. Amanda Grobler, thank you so much for your 70 South African rands. Thank you from home. I'm from South Africa, if you didn't know. Sarcasm said, I love being part of this community. This is unbelievable news. I know, right? Thank you for being a member for 16 months. All right, so the life without parole sentence is also wiped out unless she's convicted again. Oh, my word. So in short, she gets a do-over. Now, we're going to go over this and exactly what happened. I'll give you the quick what happened. Then we're going to, because this is 54 pages. I just want to make sure we do a little recap before we do this. What I will tell you is that one of the jurors has a son-in-law that worked with the district attorney. And they did question the juror in the voir dire process. There were questionnaires, actually, that they sent out. And they were aware of this. However, when the judge questioned this juror, it was decided upon that the juror could continue sitting on the jury. And so the defense is like, no. And the defense won this appeal. Catherine Gibson says, 5 months already. Thank you, G, for great content and snark. Thank you so much. Okay. Misty Peterson said, coming straight from the Letitia archive, this is so fresh in my mind. I knew it had to be an error or technicality. There's so many of you that are still today watching the Letitia Stauch trial because I can see the comments, For me, in my YouTube studio, I just see all the latest comments. So it can be on any case that you guys are commenting on. And I see a lot of you are still watching that. If you've never seen it, go check it out because there's going to be a take 2 on that one. All right, so now what I'm going to do is quickly, wait, I just need to bring this above here. There we go. All right, so quickly, let's just recap this, and then I will tell you exactly what happened with this appeal, okay? Anonymous or Anonymous A said, what? Wow, unbelievable. I know, right? Thanks for being a member for 35 months. And Sherry
Good morning,
Bar said,
Heather.
will wear my blue necklace again. I'm wearing this I bought in honor of
Yes,
Gannon Stauch.
she's
I'm sure
gonna
if you
get
guys
a
watch
new
trials, you
trial.
remember that. So yes, I am wearing it.
A new
Okay.
trial.
Gannon Stauch. He was born on September 29th of 2008 to Landon Hoyt and Al Stauch. He was born 3 months premature, but he survived a collapsed
Yep.
lung. He had a feeding tube and he weighed 1 pound and 6 ounces.
I know,
He's
nobody's
described as a
talked
miracle
about it at
child. He had a
all.
10% chance
Hi,
of survival. He has a younger sister, Lena, and Gannon's parents got divorced. And
Gannon, Letitia Stauch is getting a new trial. I cannot fucking believe it. I just invited her here. Be nice, Stevie. God. One of the jurors. Hold on, I'll rewind it a little for you. Okay? If anybody comes in and wants me to rewind a little, I will. Alright, listen up, Heather.
There we go. All right. So quickly, let's just recap this, and then I will tell you actually that they sent out, and they were aware of this. Community, this is unbelievable news. I know, right? Thank you for being a member for 16 months.
That's okay.
All right, so
Here she
the
goes.
life
She's
without
going to
parole
explain.
sentence is also wiped out unless she's convicted again. Oh my word. So in short, she gets a do-over. Now, we're going to go over this and exactly what happened. I'll give you the quick what happened. Then we're going to, because this is 54 pages. I just want to make sure we do a little recap before we do this. What I will tell you is that one of the jurors has a son-in-law that worked with the district attorney.
Thank you.
And they did question the juror in the voir dire process. There were questionnaires, actually, that they sent out. And they were aware of this. However, when the judge questioned this juror, it was decided upon that the juror could continue sitting on the jury. And so the defense is like, no. And the defense won this appeal. Catherine Gibson says, 5 months already. Thank you, G, for great content and snark. Thank you so much. Okay. Misty Peterson said, coming straight from the Letitia archive. This is so fresh in my mind. I knew it had to be an error or technicality. There's so many of you that are still today watching the Letitia Stark trial because I can see the comments, you know.
Yeah, they're going to be watching
For me,
it
in
again.
my YouTube studio, I just see all the latest comments. So it can be on any case that you guys are
Oh, that
commenting
was a
on.
long
And I see a lot of you are still
trial,
watching
too.
that.
Oh, my
If you've never
God.
seen it, go check it out because there's going to be a take 2 on that one. All right, so now what I'm going to do is quickly, wait, I just need to bring this
I
up
never
here.
expected this in a million
There you
years.
go. All right, so quickly, let's just
Never.
recap this, and then I will tell you exactly what happened with this appeal, okay? Anonymous or Anonymous A said, what? Wow, unbelievable. I know, right? Thanks for being a member for 35 months. And Sherry Z Bar said, we'll wear my blue necklace again. I'm wearing this I bought in honor of Gannon Stout. I'm sure if
I
you guys
know,
watch the
it's
trials, you
terrible.
remember that. So yes, I am wearing it. Okay, Gannon Stout. He was born on September 29th of 2008 to Landon Hoyt and Al Stauch. He was born 3 months premature, but he survived a collapsed lung. He had a feeding tube and he weighed 1 pound and 6 ounces. He's described as a miracle child. He had a 10% chance of survival. He has a younger sister, Lena, and Gannon's parents got divorced, and Al Stauch married Letitia Stauch. Gannon moved to Colorado in 2019 to spend more time with his dad. Letitia and the kids moved in January of 2019, and Al joined from Alaska in February of 2019. Just so you know, this won't be a long recap, okay? I just want to make sure that you guys have your
She will be found
case
guilty
memory
again.
refreshed,
That's
okay?
why it's
Gannon
just
dreamed of becoming
just
a
a waste
YouTube
of time,
gamer,
a waste
and
of
he has already
money.
uploaded a video to YouTube. He loved Mario and Sonic, and his favorite color was blue. That's why we wear the blue hearts, right? Okay, his family nicknamed him Big Bubba. He told his biological mom a joke every single day. She said that he looked forward to telling her something corny every day. Gannon stayed with his dad, his little sister, stepsister, and stepmother at 6627 Mandan Drive, Lawson Ranch, Colorado, and enjoyed biking around the neighborhood and playing video games with his friends. He was last seen on Monday, January 27th of 2020, on surveillance footage leaving the house with Letitia. Wow, okay. Sorry, next slide. There we go. 6627 Mandan Drive. I mean, this feels like yesterday, hey? Okay. So, on Sunday, January 26th of 2020, Letitia booked Gannon off from school for Monday, saying that he had stomach problems.
It's wild
She
to me,
recorded
too.
herself
I'm kind
addressing
of in
Gannon about
shock.
candle wax that had spilt on the carpet. Gannon said, I'm just worried about my burns. He was heard on that recording saying,
I'm
so
really
sad,
in
right?
shock.
On Monday, January 27th of 2020, she booked off from work
I
saying
am
that her
too, Heather.
stepfather was killed in a car crash. And we've gone over that before. I think he actually was, but years earlier, like way earlier, and she just used that as an excuse in the present time, right?
I
V.
can't
Aguilar
believe
said, this
no
is the
one's
case that haunts
talked
me the
about
most. I always
this.
think about it and how crazy she is. This saddens me. I hope Gannon gets justice twice. I hope so too. I'm sure that Gannon will get justice twice, right? Big T says he would have been 18 this year. Shame.
Wow.
Okay, so
He
on
would
Monday,
have been
January 27th, she booked
18?
off from work saying that her
Oh,
stepfather was killed in a
shit.
car crash. She took a photo of Gannon asleep in his bed at 8:15 a.m. that morning with his Nintendo Switch next to him and Googled,
Exactly,
"Can
Heather.
Nintendo find my Switch?" She said that Gannon left between 3:15 and 4 p.m. to play video games at a friend's house, and she
I
said he never
know.
returned. Yeah, Letitia. She called 911 to report Gannon
Seems
missing
like
that
yesterday
evening.
we watched that
Shame,
trial.
that photo. Okay, trigger warning, because I think the next photo is of the candle wax, so
I can't
bit of
wait
a
to see
mystery
what
still
she looks
exactly
like
what
after
happened there.
these so many
It's
years in
this
jail.
picture that she took of Gannon. This is a picture of the candle wax here, which I'd interviewed District Attorney Michael Allen, as well as the timeline guy, Kevin Clark, who I really hope we see him at the trial again. He was absolutely amazing. And in those interviews, I just learned that they don't know exactly what happened with this candle. But it sounds very sinister, and what Letitia had recorded there and done there, I don't know. But there is a picture of the candle wax, which really just looks like very strange, right? Okay, so we've got those. Then, just wait. There we go. Just want to make sure. I get to the
No,
next
not
slide.
yet.
Hello,
This
hello.
news
Okay.
just came out
That morning,
yesterday,
she texted her
Heather.
daughter with Gannon's phone.
There's probably
saying,
gonna
"Tisha
be
left
some
phone at
type
home,
of
text me if you
hearing
need her."
soon.
On January 28th of 2020, Letitia drove her car to the Colorado Springs airport and left it there. She then rented a car and picked up her husband in the rental, saying she didn't want to add mileage to her car. She
I'm
slipped
going
out
to-
that night to go back to the airport and fetch her car. Tiggy, want to remember all that? She drove South Perry Park Road in Douglas County. This is where police believe she initially dumped Gannon's body. Her phone was in airplane mode for most of the night until January 29th. And on January 29th, she changed the whole...
See what other people are saying about it. So yeah, she's getting a new trial. Can you believe it? I cannot.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
I can't either.
Today, Letitia Stout was sentenced to 2 life sentences without parole for the premeditated murder of her stepson, Gannon.
She got life in prison with no possibility of parole. She got that charge twice.
Stand here today with some of the happiest
Welcome,
news
Heather.
that we have waited 3 years for is that he has finally received justice.
For me, it only solidifies the loss. The loss that I'll never get to see my boy again.
Well, today, the stepmother, found guilty of killing 11-year-old Gannon Stout in 2020, had her murder convictions overturned. The Colorado Court of Appeals found a member
Just
of the
hearing
jury
that.
was biased in Letitia Stout's 2023 trial.
It's
And as a
hard.
result, a retrial has been ordered. The court's decision explains that a juror had a relative who worked in the district attorney's office that prosecuted the case. Up to the DA to try and fight that decision or prepare for a new trial.
Denver Summons
Oh,
Portal One spoke
hopefully he
with Gannon's
fights
father
it.
back when this appeals process all
I
started.
don't know.
On January 27th of this year,
Opens up wounds.
6 years to the day, 11-year-old Gannon Stout was reported missing by his stepmother,
6
Letitia
years.
Stout. The appeals process in her case
Wow.
began.
The initial hearing on the anniversary of his death, that was pretty difficult.
That's when I spoke with Al Stout, the boy's father.
I hope they get it right.
In 2023, Gannon's stepmom, Letitia Stout, was convicted of his murder by a jury. She's currently serving life in prison. But it's one of those jurors at the center of her appeal.
It shakes the framework and the foundation of fundamental fairness that's guaranteed by the Constitution in these cases, and that's why it's reversed, and that's why we'll likely have a new trial.
Attorney Stephen Longo, who's followed this case since the beginning, says he was not surprised by the Colorado Court of Appeals decision, which found one of the jurors who deliberated was biased. During the jury selection process, a prospective juror told the court that his son-in-law worked as a deputy district attorney in the same office as the lead prosecutor on the case. As a result, Letitia Stout's convictions were reversed or overturned, and a new trial has been ordered.
Why would the DA fight leaving this juror on, knowing it could potentially create a basis for this type of reversal?
We reached out to Letitia Stout's attorney for an interview, and he gave us a statement saying, in part, common sense tells us that a prospective juror whose son-in-law works for the prosecuting attorney should be disqualified.
So it's tough to blame the prosecution, they made, I think, the argument any of us would make is saying, hey, that person has a right to be on this jury. They don't have any inherent bias that's been exposed. There's just this relationship, and the judge allowed it.
We also asked the district attorney's
get more
office about
people
this
in
decision, which they called disappointing. They'll be working with the attorney general's office to secure a review of this case, and the Colorado Supreme
Do a little drama. That'll get people in here. Let's see. What can we watch? That's right. They should have booted the juror, but I don't understand why they didn't. What do we want to watch? Let's see. Whose live do we want to watch? La, la, la. Oh, let me go to TikTok. TikTok, TikTok. TikTok, TikTok. Tick-tock, tick-tock, do-do-do-do-do. My message. What the hell's this? How do you get to your inbox on TikTok? Oh my God. Fucking A. How do I get to my inbox? Does anybody know? What's that? That's not it. Isn't she adorable? Isn't she adorable? Oh, look, my own live. Yeah, I can't figure it out. Case my. Now, how do I get my messages with her? How do I get my messages? Okay. What? How do I open it? Oh, damn, that didn't work. Copy. Let's see if this works. I'm sorry I'm boring you. Trying to figure something out. Huh. Didn't work. Hey, Laura May. I'm bored. I have the day off and I'm bored. What do we want to watch? And Al, what do you work overnight? Heather? I'm gonna try to email that to myself. I'll be right back. I'm gonna try to email that